Nation, we in the building. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building. Y'all know what time it is, man. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am one of your hosts, Graphk Raider. I got my brother in the building, man. Big Mike, what's good, man?
Man, it's good to be back on with you, man. I'm good. You just listened to the press conference.
Yeah,
man. We were just saying, man, football season's right there. We right there again, man.
It's officially back. Want to say real quick, you guys, salute to everybody that was patient in the chat. We was trying to, push it back a little bit so we can watch the presser. Got an opportunity to watch Spillane. Dog, he's ready to go this year. Ayo looks really good shape. It sounds as though he's in the right mental space going into year two. Loved hearing Andre James, and his, take on, Getsy and all these new guys in the building today. We're going to talk about his new teammate also here in a second. And Max Crosby, man, I know he's still talking right now. We had to start you guys because we got a lot going on today. But man, dog, Max, man, it's just different, bro. It really is levels to this. It's like I can't believe we have a player like this with the mentality that he carries on this football team. It's just absolutely insane, man.
Right, and you feel the sense of urgency, man. You feel even with Spillane that it's time now. Today is day one of doing what they need to do to take it to that next level. You can see it, man. You can feel it. And with Max Crosby, he's not taking no for an answer.
No.
And if Tyree Wilson isn't ready, you better get ready. That's one thing that I did notice. He was emphasizing about Tyree Wilson and getting him ready to go. So it's gonna be interesting in this training camp and this whole period coming up.
He said, no excuses. He said, look, man, at the end of the day, you come out there, you perform, you do what you need to do. It was funny that he said in Oakland, most of the sacks that he was getting was just off of effort alone. He didn't really have, the pass rusher skill set that he has now. And he was kind of alluding to, Tyree having all the intangibles, but he just has to put the work together. And it sounds as though, man, I think they said something along the lines of 50 of them so far this offseason, being in the building, working out together, getting right. You can see it in Aiden. You can see it in his body already. He lost some weight. Look at Spillane's neck, dog. You see Spillane's neck.
It's a tree trunk, bro.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. And Max looks like he's in great shape. He was talking about him just taking some tests and him basically passing them with flying colors. So it looks as though our superstar edge rusher will be available to go once we actually get some football going in the offseason. Once again, man, salute to everybody here in the building. Wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to both channels, what are you waiting on, man? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Salute to everybody watching from Big Mike's channel and my channel, and also Twitter. And also, man, salute to all our people here in the building, the greatest chat in YouTube history. I see my boy East Coast Gridiron. Salute to my guy. Hell of a show last night, man. Salute to everybody that went over there and subscribed to our guy. Let's talk about it real quick, man. Today we went out, this offseason, we brought in Luke Getsy as our offensive coordinator. Everyone knows we needed a guard. And potentially even a backup center at this point, right? Big Mike, and we talked about, the opportunities to bring a center in the draft. We talked about bringing in a guard, in the draft, maybe even a couple of them. And we go out today and we sign veteran guard Cody Whitehair. He played with the Chicago Bears under Luke Getsy last season, former Pro Bowler in 2018. He's dealt with some injuries, getting up there in age, but a guy that can back up Andre James in a blink of an eye at the center position, a guy that can push in at left guard or right guard. Either way, I think at this point we may be looking at a shift on the O-line. I'm thinking maybe he goes to the left side with Colton Miller if he ends up starting, that is, and they move him to the right side, which is his, original position. How do you feel about bringing him in? Like I said, this is a guy that he's been good, but he's not a great player by any means. Let's not act as though this is a great player, but not too far removed. I mean, 6 years away from his last Pro Bowl year. But I mean, how do you feel about bringing in a veteran at this point? And the deal is worth up to $3 million. I think it was like 2.4, 2.5. It's nothing, man. It was a very inexpensive, cheap deal, especially with the way that guard market looked in free agency, right? This is kind of a steal. And I think at this point, though, we're looking at Greg Van Roten is pretty much not coming in, right? He's going to go somewhere else.
It's looking like Greg Van Roten is going to find talent. He's going to take his talents elsewhere.
Yeah.
Coupon Tom strikes again.
Yeah.
He waited until this market went down just a little bit, and he struck and make a move, and I like it. Bringing some good, healthy competition and depth to this offensive line. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people are like, okay, what are we doing with guard? What are we doing with center? Now, I'm not saying that Meredith is a starter, but having that good competition between him and Meredith is going to sharpen that room in general. Bring in another guy, bring in another rookie. Either draft a rookie at guard or draft a tackle and really sharpen that offensive line room. We're looking pretty good. And it was a formidable offensive line in the first place. I know a lot of people really knocked the offensive line, but for the last 2 years, we've been a fringe top 10 offensive line. Yeah. And we've been getting it done. The offensive line hasn't been the issue. Yeah. So last year was a little bit of the run game, the run blocking, that was an issue. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're talking about a fringe top 10 offensive line as a whole. So, and we're bringing 3 of those guys back. So, sharpening iron, having depth as well. That's definite win for us.
Yeah, and one thing about this move is we're bringing in a veteran that can help. With Luke Getsy's system, I'm saying? Instantly just come in, plug and play guy, can teach Andre the ropes, can teach all these other guys along the line, as young guys, Dylan Parham and whoever we draft at this point. I think he's going to be a vocal leader in that offensive line room. And I like the signing. This isn't a move that's a needle mover to me. It's just a great pickup for the price and a guy that can come in and help implement this system with a lot of these young guys, with us making the move of changing our scheme on the offensive line under James Craig and Luke Getsy. So it makes all the sense in the world why we made this move, and I love it because of the price tag. Now, if we overpaid for Cody Whitehair, I'd be pissed. I'm like, what the hell are we doing, Big Mike? You know what I mean? But for the price tag, bro, this is nothing. It's nothing, man. You're giving him pretty much Brandon Faison money. You know what I mean? To potentially be a starter on your O-line. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to be more of a rotational guy. I don't think he's going to be, a traditional starter, but he can be a guy that you can throw in and be a starter at any given point if need be, if any injuries occur. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with this move. Former Pro Bowler, you guys. He's actually been pretty healthy. You know what I mean? These recent years, he hasn't started a lot of games. He started in 11 last year. He played in 17. The year prior, he had some injuries. Started in 12 games, played in 12 games. The year prior in 2021, started 17, played in 17. You know what I mean? So there's only a few years where you're looking like, okay, he missed a few games. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad about this. This is a guy that, has been pretty durable in his career. And like I said before, a system fit that can come in and show these young pups how to get it done. Salute to Rube, my dog in the building, man. A lot of chats going through right now. But I seen at Rod Gas 47 B-Day today and his daughter's 19th as well. I hope God gives your family many B-Day blessings, man. Salute. I didn't see that. Salute to Rod Gas. Salute to his baby girl. Yes. Happy birthday to you both, man. Gas, man. Appreciate you for always supporting us. Rube, thank you for blessing us with a $5 piece and also allowing us to let us know what was going on. I didn't see that, man. Salute to my guys, man. Salute to Jesus. Yeah, Mass Crosby is definitely talking this shit. And I love it, man. I love it. Salute to the Mob Fathers in the building also. Top Beats, Hug.
Oh, yeah.
All my guys, man. Salute to my guys in the building, man. Hey, did you see what happened with Davante Adams yesterday, bro? I think we can kind of kill this narrative now, right? Did you see it?
I mean, we can. It's enough now, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He tripled down. He tripled down pretty much, right?
Even like 5 times down at this point, man.
Yeah. But they fought. Let's get this out of the way, you guys, now, so we don't have to talk about this shit anymore. Okay. He spoke to The Athletic yesterday. He had a football camp out there in Las Vegas. They asked him about, the wanting to get out of Vegas and so on and so forth. He ended this with this. If I wanted to be gone, I'd be gone by now. This is where I want to be. That he spoke about Antonio Pierce being in the building. It's already helped the morale of the team. It's what we were all looking for, to be able to continue the same mindset that we had. That's our guy, he said Sunday, according to The Athletic. He's the type of coach that's open-minded. He's going to be open to hearing things from veteran players that know how this thing works and the best things to do, he said. So I'm just letting you guys know. I wanted to speak on that real quick. This is over. Okay. No more talking about Davante Adams wanting to leave, wanting to be gone. He said it loud and clear. If he wanted to be gone, he would be gone. This is where he wanted to be. So he's tripled down. A few months prior, he doubled down. This is it. End of talk. If things may change a year or two down the road. We don't know. But right now and for the foreseeable future, he's going to be a Raider. And he's letting everybody, know what time it is, man. So I love it, man. That's one of your leaders saying, I want to be here. This is the team I want to be. This is the town I want to be in. Love it, love it, love it. So salute to everybody here also in the building. Once again, man, wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you guys get an opportunity, you haven't seen it yet, go double back after the live. Go watch the presser. You'll see Aiden O'Connell talking this shit, Robert Spillane talking this shit, Andre James talking his shit, and Max Crosby definitely talking his shit, man. We have to highlight some things today. So, salute to our brother Big Mike, man. He's been keeping PlanetRaiders.com alive. He has this 30 for 30 thing that he's been doing. He did it last year, wrote some articles, and then did a visual for each thing on his channel. Big Mike Raider. If you guys are not subscribed yet, make sure you guys go subscribe to Big Mike Raider on YouTube. But give us an idea, man, for those who have not been able to see the articles, what you have going on. Mention a few names that you've covered, and then we can kind of go into a quick little mock draft scenario with you, Big Mike, in terms of where you want to go in this upcoming draft.
Yeah, so shoot, let me flex just a little bit, man. I mean, yesterday in 2 years, guys, I've covered over 50 prospects. Where we did actually my 50th was yesterday. My 51st is today. We're on day 21 for this year. And we pretty much, I do a quick little 2-minute blurb, 2-minute highlight video, and then I read part of the article behind the highlight film. Yeah. And what I offer with that is you can go to PlanetRaiders.com and read the full article. I write a full article to go along with it, covers the strengths, weaknesses, a little player bio. And it helps you guys get to know these prospects, regardless of whether or not we get these guys. You can go, talk to a guy at the water cooler and, somebody says something like, oh, I heard about this guy and blah, 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 blah. Most of the time they're wrong, right? You'd be like, okay, actually not. This dude did this, that, and the third. And, I heard it on Big Mike Raiders channel. I read it on Planet Raiders. So that's exactly why we're doing it. And shoot, I love doing it, man. It's countless hours for one video. I spend about 6 hours doing the research every day. I got a job too, y'all. So it's around the clock, nonstop, looking up these guys. First off, putting together a top 30 of my favorite prospects, regardless of if it's a fit or not. I'm going to also justify how it fits and why it will fit with the Raiders as well. So it's not just a player bio. I'll tell you draft placement. I'll tell you, how it will fit for the Raiders, how I see it will fit and their acquisition and then move into the future where they would stand with the Raiders. So you get all that on the 30 days, 30 prospects.
I love it. And if you guys get an opportunity, go over to PlanetRaiders.com. He started off with Terry and Arnold, a guy that's been tied to our Raiders, Quinyon Mitchell, the two top corners to me in this draft back to back. He covered Michael Penix Jr., Jaden Daniels, Byron Murphy, Fatanu, J.C. Latham, Fuaga, Chris Jenkins, another sneaky defensive tackle out of Michigan that a lot of people aren't talking about with our Raiders. Tavondre Sweat, Cooper Beebe, Edrin Cooper, Christian Haynes. Who else we got? Jonathan Brooks. Who else? Xavier Legette. That's another one of these prospects, man, that is phenomenal in this upcoming draft that can be one of those next dominant wide receivers at the next level, bro.
I agree.
Braden Fisk, Cam Hart, my guy. Kyrie Jackson, my guy. I love it. Marshawn Lloyd and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. so far. So we still have a few more prospects to go leading up to the draft. I want to ask you this, man. Watching film on all these guys, give me 5 of your favorite guys up to this point that you've looked at on tape, and you said, man, that would actually fit what we're doing, and you can see that will work in Patrick Graham's system or Getsy, whether you're on the offense or defense side of the football, it's really bad.
Okay, so first, one of the first guys I did was J.C. Latham. You know, a mountain of a man, 6'6", 360 pounds, very super athletic for his size. Very good with the zone run blocking scheme, 11-inch hands. So as soon as he gets his hands on you, it's a wrap, right? Like this is one of those guys. It's like, bro, he puts his hands on your chest, it's over.
Yeah, the strength is different. The strength
is different.
Yeah,
and I like him a little bit over Fuaga. I know a lot of people are saying Fuaga, but for me, I think it's a fit as far as scheme goes.
Okay,
I think that J.C. Latham is more of a scheme fit for the Raiders as far as zone run blocking, the ability to move laterally. They can both do it well, but J.C. Latham is a freak athlete. You know, I might catch some slack for this one, but I see him as a possible next Trent Williams. You know, just the athleticism, the moving downfield, going to the second level, and flapjacking linebackers and secondary.
I think East Coast had the same kind of y'all may be on the same page. Look, we got to get some film breakdown from Big Mike and East Coast Gridiron, because I swear y'all had the same comp, bro. I could have sworn you went from Trent Williams last night. That's crazy. But go ahead.
That's crazy. But that's kind of who when I see him. Just that the intangibles, the athleticism,
the physicality, the build, all that.
Yeah, just a game changer on the field. He just seems like a real true game changer. Another guy is Cooper Beebe.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people have him going like 4th round, 3rd round, but to me, I think he's a 2nd round dude. He's a 2nd round dude, bro. And you know, it's crazy because we've seen this last year with Juice Scruggs. I immediately think Juice Scruggs, right?
Big guy.
Juice Scruggs, that wastes this dude, right?
Yeah.
He was a 6th round projection guy, but he got picked in the 2nd round by the Texans.
Yeah.
And that's what you see a lot with these interior O linemen. Their value is sky high as you get closer to the draft. And I see the same thing with Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe is just one of those guys that, you know, a great puller. As soon as he's pulling, he's like a train going downhill. Like as soon as he's in his crosshairs, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
He's another one of those guys. Xavier Legette, his film pops to me, bro. The speed. My player comp is a mixture of DK Metcalf and Debo Samuel.
I can see that too. I can see that.
The ability to run the street. And plus the size that he brings to, you know, he's a bigger receiver, about 220 pounds.
He's not the greatest route runner, but you're right. He that's exactly that mold, that big body guy that is a thumper. Physicality, can run over a DB.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that those 3, and then the 2, I won't get too caught up, but the 2 linebackers I covered. Edrin Cooper. Oh man, that dude's special. I think he's special. And then Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
What was he?
Pedigree.
Bro, he's dropping down boards. Like I see him available sometimes in the 4th round. I'm like, what is going on? Is it because of just how great Cooper is, or is it because of, because Peyton Wilson is gaining a lot of steam as well.
That too,
or is it also because at every other position is just so deep that some of these linebackers are just dropping down the board?
Yeah, it's weird, man, and I think that's gonna be thrown out of the window at some point because he's a pedigree dude. He's a bloodline dude. Like, you know, it's the same idea for what was the guy last year?
It's about Porter.
Yeah, Porter, Jerry Porter Jr.
Yeah,
you know, his stock was kind of high and then it dropped a little bit, but he still got picked up in the 2nd round by the Steelers.
And then look at him. What did he do? He went right to the right system under Mike Tomlin and balled out.
Pedigree dude. You know, he knows the ins and outs of being a professional. And he's the only person, I mean, we don't really put too much count in the PFF, but he's the only linebacker in the FBS that had 80 grades across the board in the last 2 years in pass coverage, in rushing, and in tackling. Like this dude does it all. So
what conference was he in, Big Mike?
He was in the ACC.
And there's a lot of great talent out there for him to perform at that high level.
And the ACC, he was in the competitive part of the ACC. We're not talking about Wake Forest or Duke or anything like. We're talking about Clemson, who schedules SEC squads. And plays Notre Dame. Like he went against formidable competition week in and week out. So those numbers actually mean something.
Yeah. Salute to True Raider, man. I think regardless, I still have us going right tackle. I think that they look at not Parham, but I think they look at Mumford at this point is kind of like that rotational Swiss Army knife that can move to the left side, move to the right side, guard, tackle. I don't know if they're sold on him yet. You know what I mean? James Craig hasn't even got his hands on him yet. Today's the first day in the building, and it's just meeting. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think they want to see what they have in him first, but I don't think they're directly sold on him at right tackle yet. So I think that they're going to look at a J.C. Latham or Fuaga in the first round. I mean, where do you think they lean towards at this point in the first round? I got right tackle. I think they're going to go tackle unless one of those top quarterbacks drop, and then this is a clear issue. I mean, it's a clear, go get one of those guys. But I mean, what do you think?
Well, it's a lot of layers to this shit. You guys already know what it is. Like, if we stay at 13, we're definitely. I think tackle is the best option to go. I love Quinyon Mitchell. He's my favorite corner, but I think it's not necessary at this point. I think we have a solid cornerback room already. So we don't need to bring another guy who's going to be a starter. Now, I would like some depth that of a person that can possibly be a starter down the line, like a Kyrie Jackson, like a Cam Hart, somebody that can sit and watch and maybe in the next couple of years he could be that starter. But but as far as that number 13 spot goes, you have to go tackle. And, we already saw that Mark Davis was talking about, hey, if it makes sense, let's move up in the draft. A lot of people think that, okay, we got to move to number 3 to get Jaden Daniels. But moving up in the draft also means that you can move up into the top 10, leapfrog the Broncos, leapfrog possibly the Vikings, and locate the quarterback. Yeah, I think that Michael Penix Jr. is going to be on a fringe top 10. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying that he's
me too.
A lot of these mock drafts have him outside in the second round or late first. I think he's going to be a top 10 dude.
Me too.
So I think that, in order for you to locate your quarterback, if that is your priority, you got to go into I'm looking at the Bears, their number 9 pick. Kind of trying to move up to number 9 and getting to Michael Penix.
Maybe even reach out to Atlanta because they need an edge rusher, and there'll be one available there at 13, so they can trade back on 5 spots and still locate the, maybe a lot 2 or Jared Verse or one of those guys to come in. So I think you're onto something right there, though.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I don't want to move up to get a quarterback, but if the market dictates and the board dictates that you got to move up to get your quarterback, you see 4 guys get off the board before you can even blink, then you gotta make the move. You gotta make the move because you'll be on the outside looking in at 13.
Yep, elite. I love it. But to be honest with you, I don't think that Peyton Wilson would be available probably maybe the 3rd, but I think he's a late 2nd round guy. I think there's going to be a run right there on linebackers. You're going to see Cooper off the board. You may see Jeremiah Trotter off the board. Cedric Gray will go later. Some of these other guys will go later, but there can be a nice little quick run at the end of the 2nd round, elite. But I don't think he makes it to the 4th round. And if he does, it's because of the injury history. But I mean, this guy can be a dominant linebacker, sideline to sideline, in coverage, play to run well. If he's there in the 3rd, I have no issue going to get paid. I think that he can end up being one of the top linebackers, barring any health issues in the NFL. What do you think about 3rd or 4th round locating a linebacker like Peyton Wilson?
Shoot, if you can get Peyton Wilson in the 3rd, that'd be great. I honestly don't see him going that far down. There are some linebackers out there. Like we just mentioned, Jeremiah Trotter. I think he's a 3rd round dude projected, but I think he's going to get picked a little bit higher. Edrin Cooper, he's going to be in the mid to late 2nd round. So if the board plays out, you got to get one of those linebackers. You got to get your hand on one of those linebackers in the 3rd round.
And I can see that. I can see ATL targeting the linebacker in the 2nd round. They're still trying to build that defense. They got Kirk Cousins. Their offensive line is coming together. They have a shit ton of talent at the wide receiver and tight end position and running back. They're going to build that defense. I can definitely see them going back to back with an edge rusher, linebacker. Salute to Walt. Get off my line, gang, man. My guy.
Go. That's the GM right there. That's GM Walt right there.
Factory. Salute to my brother Ruben, man, on the 20-piece special. Keep my auntie Walia and family in your prayers. Was fine last week, and this weekend she was diagnosed with stage 5 leukemia and given a month to live. I'm a man of faith and believe in the power of prayer. Would mean a lot. Hey, you know what, Rube?
Absolutely, man.
Quick little prayer right now, live, bro. You know what I mean? So, hey, brother, prayers for you and your family, dog. I hope and pray that, you know, God sees fit that she lives a long and illustrious life, and I hope that she gets through this, man. Prayers with you and your family, King. Salute to my dog, man. And next time, bro, don't ever send a $20 donation with that. Put that in the chat and let me find it, bro. Don't ever pay for something like that. Please just don't do that again. You know what I mean? There's no disrespect, but just put it in the chat. And I hate that money is attached to that comment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, salute to Rue, my dog, man. Appreciate you, brother. But, you know, prayers to you and your family, man.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me see. And we're still not done. I want to ask you a few more players that fit, you know, some people that popped on tape. Salute to Shady, man. Trade first and a second this year. First next. First in 2026, get Daniels. Kyrie Jackson, Cam Hart, or Aubin Corner in the third. That's another guy that a lot of people are overlooking in this draft. And see what you have in Mumford and Wagner at tackle. Salute to my guy. And that's another guy we've mentioned it a million times. We don't know what Dalton Wagner is up to at this point. We don't know who he is. You know what I mean? UDFA that played really well at Arkansas. IR pretty much redshirted his rookie year. We still don't know. There's not a lot of talk about Dalton Wagner, but the measurables are there, and I'm excited to see what he can do. But hey, man, I think what do you think? Is this Jaden Daniels thing even? We know it's a pipe dream at this point, right? Like, is it possible? Do you think that there's some real steam that can get going with Jaden Daniels to LV? I mean, everyone knows he wants to be there, right? But, I mean, is it realistic in your eyes?
If I had to put a percentage on it, man, I'm saying it's probably like a 5% chance for this thing to happen. I mean, he did have that meeting. He did have that visit with the Commanders. I know that he has some beef with like a front office dude over there. And
it was a couple of years ago, I believe. Adam Peters, he was at the time, he was the Niners GM. He said something along the lines of when Jaden was at ASU that he would never make it in the league.
Right.
And so now it's just funny that he's the Heisman Trophy winner, top 3 pick, and now he has the option of picking him at 2. So that's where all that came from. I've never heard it myself, but it was just a lot of talk about that potentially being something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only way I could see that being in our favor is if you know, Jaden Daniels is one of those guys where he's just, hey, I'm not taking, I don't care what you say. I'm holding that. I'm taking that offensively. I rode that hate and anger all the way up to this point. You know? And that's exactly who you want as a Raider anyway. Somebody's gonna hold that hate and turn it into a positive and really knock some heads in the process. So
it's funny, man, because everybody keeps saying, right, like, let him pull an Eli. Well, Eli is 10 picks away. It's not technically an Eli. But the thing is this, though, not a lot of us are talking about this. If you could just talk your way out of those 3 teams, you could be a Raider. You could be a Raider, bro. Like, just talk yourself out of, I don't want to be in New England. I don't want to be in DC. Well, not even 3 teams, just 2. If you can talk your way out of those top 3 picks, we can move up to 4 with Arizona and go get Jaden Daniels. If he lets both those teams know, I don't want to be there, one of them are going to probably take him regardless. But if he can talk his way out of the Commanders, you know, and out of the New England Patriots, which I don't think they take him anyway, there may be a move here because I know Arizona loves Marvin Harrison Jr., but there's going to be a weapon there at 13, and they can pick up a bunch of extra additional draft. Look, they're far away from competing, Big Mike. They need so much. They need receivers. They need some edge rushers. They need line. They need everything out there in Arizona. They're rebuilding that thing.
To be honest with you, even the Patriots, like, they are more than one piece away from competing at this point. Like, they got a decent defense, right? But is the quarterback going to solve their issues? I don't think so.
And to be real, it may set them back. It may set the kid back and the organization back.
Exactly. So, you know, even moving up to 3 will be a good move, you know, and that just means that Jaden Daniels would have to just talk his way out of Washington, which seems like it would be pretty easy at this point. Like, That's why I leave it. That's why I leave a possibility of it happening still. 5% chance.
I got a little more, 10 to 15 range. But yeah, if he talks his way out of DC, and there's a lot of talk already about them potentially taking JJ McCarthy, which would probably be a reach at 2. The Drake May, conversation is still there, even though a lot of people have him dropping like insanely dropping, like potentially to Minnesota or Denver there. You know what I mean? But it's going to be interesting to see, where he goes, man. Salute to Silver and Black Attack. Hey, brother. Hey, it's an honor to be able to inspire you to start your channel, man. Salute to you, brother. Yep. Some more talent, man. And you got, that popped out on tape that you've actually covered on Planet Raiders and Big Mike Raider on YouTube. What's a few other guys that you feel like would fit what we got going on and just literally just their tape just popped off the charts?
I mean, so, all right. So I'll say this, most of the guys that I did look at and I really like, there's a common plus for them. They were all 3-star guys coming out of high school. Ooh. Now, these 4 and 5-star guys are the ones that get all the clout. They get all the attention coming up.
Yeah.
But these 3-star dudes, they're in the lab every day.
Fighting.
They're, fighting and grinding, or they go to a small school like a Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah.
And build his way up.
All their way up.
Yeah. So a lot of the guys that I do like commonly, like they are 3-star guys coming out of high school. And that is a mentality that you bring to the football field and in life as well. So guys that grind, guys that fight from day one when you step in on a college campus as a freshman all the way up to this point.
Yeah.
That's your mentality. That's your new personality as far as being a professional in this league. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly who I want. Guys like Quinyon Mitchell, guys like, Kyrie Jackson, who started from a JUCO route.
Yep.
Even though he was a 4-star guy, JUCO route, and went the unbeaten path, became a number 1 prospect coming out of JUCO, and found his way, went to Alabama, but really found his way this past season with Oregon. So those are the guys that really stick out to me. But tape wise, corner Quinyon Mitchell, his tape sticks out. His Senior Bowl was phenomenal.
Oh, he was one of the players that point. One of the players that him and Christian Haynes and Braden Fisk, I heard those names over and over and over at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah. And same thing, that you brought up Christian Haynes. He's another one of those guards that, it stuck out to me. His effort, and another one of those small school guys, 2-star guy.
Yeah.
So he was really grinding to get to this point. So those are the guys that really stick out to me, and to me will be a great fit for what the Raiders got going on with squad wise, just mentality and just fit. It would fit with those two.
I love it. Let me show everybody what we got going on over there real quick. Salute to everybody here in the building. Also, man, salute to Big Mike. He's been keeping our website afloat. We're gonna definitely, you guys, be bringing this back this season, and we're gonna be uploading exclusive content to PlanetRaiders.com that you can't find on our respective YouTube channels or anywhere else. So stay tuned. Me, Mike, Wasted. We're going to have a few new writers as well. I know Skinner's in the chat. We're going to have a bunch of it's going to be a lot going on over at PlanetRaiders.com. If you guys get a chance to go over there, check it out. If you haven't yet, a bunch of great, phenomenal articles from Big Mike covering a bunch of these prospects that are coming into this year's NFL draft, and also visuals attached to it. So there's a lot of YouTube channel links connected. So go over there and check out Big Mike as well, man. He puts on a great show over there, man. So let's do this real quick, man. Salute to the chat, man. Appreciate you guys. Wipe them feet, man. Light the thumb, as my boy Big Mike says. Whether you're watching on his channel, my channel, Twitter, it does not matter. About 800 plus people in the building. We appreciate you guys as always. Top, my brother, my father, put the link in the comment section, you guys. So make sure you go check out PlanetRaiders.com. All right, man. So let me ask you, before we do this mock draft, I want to ask you in terms of where you think they go position-wise from 1 to 7, okay?
Okay.
This is going to be a little tricky, but
okay.
Round 1, where do you see us going? What position? Not player, just position.
More than likely, we're going tackle.
Okay, so all right, tackle. We're gonna put a bookmark on that. Round 2, where do you see us going at this point? I mean, because mind you, we can still go best player available, but we're just going off of what Big Mike thinks that Tom Telesco is going to do position by position. So tackle in round 1. Round 2, what do you got?
We're going guard.
Okay, so we're going to go double back with the trenches, which I've been screaming for, and this is what East Coast had last night too, back-to-back tackle guard, and he had 2 great prospects too. Okay, third round, where are we going?
Oh man, so it depends on who's available at linebacker. If not, we're going corner.
Okay, so corner, 4th round, so interchangeable then right there, right? Corner, linebacker, 3rd, 4th round. Is that kind of where you have?
So I would go linebacker, corner, 3rd round, 4th round. I would add in running back as well in the 4th round.
Okay, so all right. So 5th round, where are you going in terms of the 5th? Are you looking at a receiver? Are you looking at, potentially another corner? I mean, like how are you looking in terms of the 5th round?
I would like receiver. We do need another receiver to kind of replace Hunter Renfrow and what we got going on over there.
Okay.
But in that situation, best available. Okay. Wide receiver, best available.
And then those rounds, that's where you want to find some of those hidden gems, right? You want to find some of those guys, maybe some small school guys. I mean, look where we found Max Crosby right there out of Eastern Michigan, and now he's a superstar. So, I mean, you're right. Right there in those middle rounds to end rounds, potential. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I'm not even going to do the mock draft. I'm going to do the same thing we did last night with East Coast. All right. I know you've, covered a lot of these guys, and maybe do you have some sneaky names in the later rounds that you have kind of earmarked, or would you rather the traditional route of the mock draft?
I got one guy, and this is all caveats of we don't address the tackle position, and we do get that quarterback, particularly Michael Penix. I would like to package him with Rosengarten in the 5th round out of Washington.
Okay. So do you think he's a guard or a tackle at the next level? Because I have him as a guard. You
have him as a guard. You got to try him at tackle. You got to try him. If that doesn't work, then you can move him to guard. And 5th round, that's say you take the risk and you grab him, and he does work out at tackle, then you win. If not, then you move him to guard, and you still win. Because if it works in one of those two, you got somebody that you picked up in the 5th round for cheap, and he's a contributor to your squad. So I really believe in packaging, the quarterback with the tackle that did, he had success with Penix for 2 years. So,
but remember, you didn't take a quarterback in that draft.
Yeah. So if I didn't take a quarterback, I really like Luke McCaffrey. I really did. Okay. I did like him out of Rice.
Not mad about that.
Yeah, the Senior Bowl was he had some good action in the Senior Bowl game. And I just really believe in pedigree dudes. Like that's just
me too. I hear you, bro. Yeah.
And he kind of reminds me of a little bit more athletic Hunter Renfrow.
I love it.
So I think that would be a good fit too. So Luke McCaffrey in the 5th round is one that I'm kind of looking at too in that situation. Okay. He might be a late 4th, depending on need. I can see the 49ers kind of reaching a little bit early to grab him.
Yeah,
so that's kind of where I have Luke McCaffrey.
This is what I'm gonna do right here, man. I'm gonna do the traditional mock draft.
Okay,
and go off of also who you think is going to be available there. You know what I mean? Because some of these guys, it's like, come on, bro. Like, they're not going to be available there. So, I mean, it'd be easy to take Michael Penix in the 2nd round. I think me and you can both agree that he's not going to be there, right?
Every time I do a mock draft, I pick Michael Penix. Like if I do it with trades, I'll pick up Michael Penix like 9th overall or something, and I get an F every time. Like the grade is always an F.
Yeah.
So, definitely.
No trades. No trades. This is your draft, okay? Want to see where Big Mike is and where your head is in terms of the draft. So we're going to reject that. Now, mind you, there is a lot of talk of Joe Alt falling down some boards. I don't think that Denver takes Fuaga there. I think they take a quarterback. I mean, are they really going to just skip over the quarterback position at 12? But Joe Alt may be there. But right here, what do you want to look at? Realistically. Your guy's there too, J.C. Latham. And I don't know how they have Mims rated over him. I like Mims, mammoth of a man out of Georgia, but I have J.C. Latham over him and Fontenot.
Yeah. I go J.C. Latham right here. Quinyon Mitchell is tempting to grab, but nah, I definitely go J.C. Latham right there.
Okay,
I know we get a lot of shit for that one, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. We get our right tackle of the future right there. Yeah. Two guys right here that are not going to be available. Powers Johnson, I think he'll be gone in the first round. Michael Penix will be gone. Interesting pickups right here. Yeah, Bo Nix. But see, I have him gone in the first two, man. I don't have him drop into the second. There's going to be a run on quarterbacks, and somebody's going to come up and get him. Like I have a feeling. So right here, you have a lot of talent on the board, right? You have Trey Benson. I don't think we take a running back early. Troy Franklin, don't really need a wide receiver here. Rook is another underrated defensive tackle out of Clemson, but I think it's too early to get him. Cooper's there, your guy.
He's there. That's pretty good. But like I said, if I stick with the plan I said beginning, I'm looking at interior O-line and looking at so Christian Haynes isn't available.
Cooper Beebe's gone as well. He went to Green Bay.
All right, so then we'll go best available on defense.
Okay, so let's go to all, and we're looking right now.
Then we'll go Edgerrin Cooper.
Okay,
so Edgerrin Cooper right there.
I think at this point, people got to remember, you guys, every one of our starting linebackers, both of them, are free agents this upcoming season. Divine Diablo can leave. Robert Spillane can leave, which I think we will keep Spillane around, give him an extension at some point in the near future. But I like that pick because you potentially have an all-pro linebacker in Edgerrin Cooper right there. And I'm gonna be real. If I'm a betting man, I would put the house on Edgerrin Cooper to be an all-pro talent at the next level.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, that dude's a monster.
Yeah. So
so we're in the third round here.
This is where you can look at a guard, you can look at a corner. At the corner, maybe, or a quarterback. We still don't have a quarterback. The run on running backs hasn't happened yet because you're seeing Benson and Jonathan Brooks there. Me personally, I'm looking at running backs a little later. In the 5th to 6th round because of the Carson Steels, the George Halanis. Some of these guys are still going to be available. And I don't think we need a top running back in this year's draft. I think we're going to have a running back by committee type situation. And I think we'll be okay grabbing one in the later rounds, me personally.
Right. No, I agree. I agree with you. And you definitely got to take a running back, but he doesn't have to be that workhorse every down type of dude or even have that kind of caliber. So you can look at we can look at corner. We could see what's available at quarterback.
Let's see. Let's see the corner real quick. DJ James, just a guy we just talked about, is one of the best corners in this draft, still available. Renardo Green, Josh Newton out of TCU, Kalen King, another sneaky name in this year's draft. And then we got our guys, Kyrie and Cam. So one of these guys may be available in the next round. Let's look at quarterbacks real quick and see what you got. You got Spencer Rattler there, Michael Pratt, Jordan Travis, and Joe Milton right there, the best available right there in terms of quarterbacks. What are you looking at right here, Big Mike? Do you get one of those guys? Because it's if you go into the next round, you may miss out on these top names that are available left at the quarterback position.
Yeah, you kind of have to go with Spencer Rattler here.
Okay.
I will go Rattler, and then definitely in the 4th round you can address the corner position, particularly a Kyrie Jackson or Cam Hart.
Boom, and they're both available.
So there you go.
Who do you like? Who do you like better, man? They're both great prospects, both 6'3",
big corners. I like Cam Hart's. I like his physicality.
Okay,
it seems to be a better fit than a Kyrie Jackson.
Okay,
I will go Cam Hart here.
Okay, as a Notre Dame guy, I would love this pick. I love Kyrie Jackson, but I'm partial to Cam Hart, so I love it. And I think he could be a potential starter down the line. Even he may be a guy that comes in camp and just absolutely destroys shit, and he's a starter from day one. You never know. All right, so we're gonna go to all right here. So real quick, for those who haven't seen, let's look at where's our picks. So we have a right tackle, we have a linebacker, we have a quarterback, we have a corner. We've literally addressed pretty much all the top needs at this point. Okay. We still need a guard, but the top guards were gone in the 2nd round. So we had to go a different approach here in terms of Big Mike's draft. Do you want to look at a running back here? The Ray Davises of the world. Dylan is another guy out of New Hampshire that is a sneaky back. You can look at a Jaheim Bell, a guy that brings you versatility. He can be out the backfield as a running back, tight end out of Florida State. But what do you want to do here in the 5th round?
Man, I like Ray Davis too. That's a thunder and lightning type of deal that I'm thinking of, even though he's about 5'8", but just packs a punch as far as running the ball. I like Ray Davis. Lobby is good from New Hampshire.
Guards are available right here. Not too many guards. It looks like we're going to kind of miss out here. We may, at this point, have to go with the Cody Whitehair if we miss out on one of these guards.
That's what it would be. Let's go just for the sake, just because I like Ray Davis. I'll go Ray Davis right here.
I love it. My favorite running back in this draft. All right, so now let's see where we are. Draft results. We're in the 6th round right here. And like you just said, Big Mike, this is where you start looking at potential, right? Guys that you can potentially develop to be future starters down the line, or some guys that may just take the top off of the NFL in year 1 out of nowhere. There's a great sneaky safety available. Sione Vaki. I always butcher his name. There are two, they're available. What positions are you looking at right here? Are you looking at edge rusher, maybe another corner? Nehemiah Pritchett is still available. What would you look at right here? Do you want to look at receivers?
Yeah, let's check out receivers. Let's see what's going on with the receivers.
Okay, and Cornelius Johnson's still there. Josh Cephas, another guy. Aeneas Smith out of A&M. Anthony Gold, another guy that we've been talking about. Xavier Weaver.
We can probably go Gold in the 4th, so we can address. Not the 4th, the 7th.
Okay.
So we can. We're in the 6th round, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, can we check out the tight ends real quick?
Yeah, definitely.
Because to me, I think that we got. We already got the number 1.
Harrison Bryant is our number 2, but we can always use another tight end though. We can always use another one.
If you have faith in Fotheringham, you might not need a tight end. So I can pass up on a tight end. Let's check out. You know what? Let's check out the safety.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah. Defense. Remember, once again, you guys, both our starters are on 1-year deals at this point. Yeah. Marcus Epps and Trayvon Merrick, which I think Merrick will get an extension, but they're both on 1-year deals.
We can go Sione Vaki from
I love
Utah.
It.
Yeah, let's do that.
Boom. So we got a safety there in the 6th. Now, best players available at this point. We haven't got a defensive tackle, even though we built that up in free agency, right? But you can look at one of those guys here. You can look at a Logan Lee out of Iowa, a Briggs out of Cincinnati, Drake Nugent. You can look at another guy right there on the offensive line. But where do you want to go right here in the 7th round? This is a sneaky player right here too. Also,
do we have 2 7? Oh, we're still in the 6th.
Yeah. Oh, are we? Oh shit. Yeah. No. We're in the 7th now. We're in the 7th. These we have back-to-back picks right here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we also have 229 as well. All right. Shoot. I really do. I feel like we really need to see what's going on with your guy Sincere, and we got to see what's going on with other dude from UCLA.
Yeah, Britton Brown still in the building. Yeah, we got a few guys. So we already got Ray too. Remember that. So we don't really.
Right. Okay. Shoot. Let's go.
Receivers available are right here.
Yeah.
You can get Anthony Gold here, a guy that we talked about.
Let's take a flyer on Anthony Gold. Give him a shot.
I like
special teams guy.
With the rule change, you need a guy that can actually run back some kicks for you. Now, at this point, you can look at edge rusher. You can look at a tight end. We haven't got an edge rusher. Haven't gotten a tight end. We haven't gotten a guard. But once again, we talked about Cody Whitehair potentially coming in. And also, remember, you guys, we got a right tackle. So now Mumford can fight for one of those guard spots as well, which he played very well at Ohio State.
Yeah. And then you can also hope for UDFAs to come in and hijack the whole plan anyway. Yeah. I mean, if we would have just kept, I'm kind of going off tangent. If we would have just kept McClendon Curtis, this wouldn't be a problem. But I digress on that one.
Real quick, man, salute to Top Beats and salute to my brother Jason Hunter, 2 of the Mob Fathers. I appreciate you, man. Salute to all the new members in the building because of my brothers, man. Salute to you guys. I appreciate you as always. And salute to Felon. Good to see you guys come around to the idea of prioritizing the O-line. I've been screaming O-line over QB all off season. Always pick the position most likely to succeed and never reach. And Felon, guess what Max Crosby just said in his presser? He said you win football games in the trenches on both sides of the line. So Felon, salute to you, brother. Appreciate you on a $10 donation, man. My guy. All right, man. So what do you want to do right here, Big Mike?
Let's look at all. Let's just see what's best available.
I think Crumb is off the board too at this point.
Yeah.
Is there any hidden, maybe some hidden names, some hidden gems here? Like I said, Sanjit Anderson out of Grambling State, smaller school, edge rusher, man. He was very productive in college. I know, it's Grambling State, but another
We've
guy.
Done it before. We've done it before with the 7th round when we picked I forget, it was a 7th round pick, defensive end. I think he was like from Prairie View or something.
Yep.
A couple years ago. I like going to those HBCUs and picking them late and see what happens. So yeah, let's go to the Grambling State edge right there. Unless you got another idea.
No. Well, this is yours, but real talk. We got Frank Crum there still available. Kingsley, the young center out of Florida, which we don't really need a center at this point. Gabriel Murphy there out of UCLA, another edge rusher that that can get it done. Darius is the linebacker at UCLA, but we got one. Jaquan Shepard, another corner that we brought in for a top 30 visit.
Okay.
But I like those smaller school. I think you may be onto something right there, with Anderson out of Grambling State. So you want to go him over Murphy?
Yep. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. And boom, there you have it. Big Mike's mock draft here, you guys. Right tackle of the future, J.C. Latham at 13, 44. We get our linebacker, which we have not had a top linebacker in shit. I mean, bro, 30, 40 years type shit. Like think about that, right? Like we have a Spillane, which is a phenomenal talent for us. You know what I mean? But he's not a top guy at his position. We've had a Denzel Perriman, came in Pro Bowl year, looked good for us. But Edgerrin Cooper is just different. There's a lot of, Fred Warner comparisons. There's a lot of Patrick Willis comparisons. You get a top linebacker in this year's draft. And what was our head coach? A linebacker, right? So there you go. I know he wants to beef up that room, especially with some of these guys potentially on the way out. I love it. Spencer Rattler, another snake in the desert. I love this pick. Actually, if he's available there at 77, Cam Hart, you guys know how much I love, Notre Dame guys, but 6'3", big body corner. I think he fits with what Patrick Graham is trying to do out there in Las Vegas. Ray Davis, my personal favorite running back in this year's draft. I love it. You can get him at 148. Phenomenal pickup from Big Mike. Sion Baki, another guy at 208. I think this can be a guy that can fight for some reps this year, probably get some special team looks. He'll probably get the Chris Smith treatment in year one, but a guy that can potentially down the line give you some true reps at the safety position. Anthony Gold, another guy that special teams phenomenon, but can also give you some looks on the offensive side of the football out of the slot. With Hunter Renfrow gone, I love the pickup there. And then Sanjit Anderson, another edge rusher late that you could potentially develop and then hope that he can be a rotational piece later on down the line, man. I mean, I actually love this pickup. I love this.
And I'm just looking at the board just in general. And the first thing that pops out is that space in between 148 and 208. If everything stays status quo, I can see the Raiders moving back up into that 5th round, somewhat in between there. And trying to get additional talent there in that 5th round. Cause I mean, it's chock full of talent in this year's draft. So I can see them trying to, rid of those 2 7s and then maybe something else to move back into that 5th. I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that realistically.
Definitely. Maybe even package it up to 6th and both those 7s and moving up to identify just one specific talent that they may have on their boards. I agree with you. The only thing that we missed out on this is a guard. And like we said, you guys, we don't know what Mumford is at this point. He may be just that Swiss Army knife that just kind of, what they wanted Brandon Parker to be, a guy that can give you reps at guard, give you reps at the tackle position. We don't know what he is yet. So he may be a guard, moving into the James Craig era and Luke Getsy era. We have no idea. So if you miss out on a guard, it's okay. You brought in Cody Whitehair and you have some other guys. You brought back Meredith. We talked about him earlier on. And he actually, people don't realize, but he gave us some pretty good reps last season, man. I mean, he came in and really, truly looked good out there. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be a guy that's going to be a starter for you moving forward, but, he looked actually okay. So
I got a question for you, bro. We did see Michael Penix there in the 2nd round, which is highly super 100% not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, so if we stay at 13, what is the likelihood that he is at 13? Because I'm trying to figure out what his draft stock is looking like, and I really feel like if we wait to 13 to grab a quarterback, if that is the number one plan,
let me see
the
something.
Broncos are going to grab him before anything. I think my gut tells me that he's ranked ahead of Bo Nix. That's kind of my my gut feeling on that one.
So I'm looking right now. Let's just say we're at 13, and I'm looking at teams behind us. New Orleans Saints, they don't need a quarterback. I mean, they do, but
they're in denial right now.
I think they're gonna. I think they're aging a little bit on the defensive side of the football. They may go get some help on the defensive side of the football, or they may need some O-line. They may get a tackle here. To be real, I think 14, they're going to look at maybe a potential J.C. Latham or Fuaga, someone that they can bring in, but they actually need a left tackle now, right? I could have swore.
I think so, because I saw some mock drafts. I think they're looking at Fatanu. From Washington. So
I'd keep an eye on New Orleans potentially moving up to get Joe Alt if he drops a little bit. But okay, the Colts, no quarterback. Seattle may be a team to keep an eye on for Michael Penix Jr. because they have Geno. I know that they traded for Sam Howell, right? So I know that they have a guy that started pretty much all year long for the Commanders last year. So they technically don't need a backup. But if they don't believe in Sam Howell to be the guy moving forward, I can see them taking Michael Penix. I mean, Seattle usually they're a traditional defensive team, right? They're probably going to go defense in round one, but I can see them being a sneaky team for Michael Penix Jr. Who else? The Rams, another team, bro, that may be sneaky. You know what I'm saying? That may be another sneaky team that can move up or that can stay right there and get Michael Penix. So there's some teams. There's definitely some teams. I still think that it's going to be a top 15 pick. He's going to be a top 15 pick. And I think there's a very realistic chance that he'll be there at 13 because of the run on wide receivers early in the top 10. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a slight run on tackles there. You know what I mean? Maybe Joe Alt and those guys. And then there's the edge rushers. So, I don't see any of these corners going in the top 10. But the run on quarterbacks is going to be clear the first 3 or 4 picks or 3 picks. Then you're going to probably see a nice little run on wide receivers with Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, potentially Rome right there. Boom, boom, boom. And then some edge rushers. So Penix may fall to 13. Now, do you trust to trade back, and pick up some extra assets and you're somewhere in that 20 range? Mm-hmm. Where you may still miss out on Michael Penix, it can get a little spooky there, right?
Right, and then that's kind of what I'm looking at too. Like it's legit. The Broncos, not that I'm worried about them, but the Broncos that I'm looking at, like, hey, we're gonna take this quarterback,
and then in Minnesota, but one of those teams will trade up. I think it may be Minnesota moving up. They already made a move for an additional first round pick. They're probably going to package those 2 guys up and move up more and trade with a team like Arizona. Or even the Chargers, because it's a new era with Jim Harbaugh. They can use some extra assets to continue to build that team, So it's going to be interesting to see who Minnesota moves up for. But I have a nagging suspicion that they move up to get J.J. McCarthy or potentially Drake May. So Denver may be the only team that we have to worry about at that point in the Michael Penix sweepstakes that's in front of us. You know what I'm saying? So, but let me ask you this. If you move back from 13 to, let's just say, like the 22, 23 range, say you move back with the Dallas Cowboys. Yep. What do you see with us getting in terms of draft capital back by moving back probably 10 picks? What is it? I mean, what do you think?
We'll get the 23, possibly second.
Okay.
I can see them possibly.
I agree.
And that's what I would go, and then maybe a late round pick at that point.
Oh, okay.
Because you're gonna have to give up. I wouldn't say it's the same as going from 13 to 3. It's not the same thing, but you're gonna have to give up. You're gonna have to give up some capital, to move up to get to move up to 13. So, because I mean, especially if we know where you're trying to go with it.
Yeah.
He's like, the price just gone up. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I can see a second and a fourth. I can see a fifth at the worst.
Yeah. And like Tano said, a second and a fifth. I would definitely make that move because this is such a deep draft. But let me ask you, if you move back to 23, what are you doing? Are you saying I'm getting my quarterback now? Are you still going to try and locate a right tackle there? Or are you going to take a flyer maybe later on down the line on, a guy like Blake Fisher out of Notre Dame, then maybe they're in the third round, or potentially a Frank Crum in those mid to later rounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
In that situation, late first, I mean, you're not going to get the quarterback. You're not going to locate your quarterback in the first round. More than likely, that's not going to happen. Now, in that situation, you're not even going to locate your tackle.
Mm-hmm.
You
probably missed on the top guys at both respective positions at that point.
Yeah. So now you're looking at best available and fit in that situation. Okay. So now you're looking at, maybe you're looking at corner in that situation now. Now you're looking at maybe I wouldn't say Terry and Arnold will probably be off the board at that point. Yeah. Now you're looking at probably
Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Kool-Aid. Yeah. So, you're getting a Kool-Aid in the late round, and then in the second round, now you can kind of double up and get that linebacker and the guard in that second round. So
I would love that. Give me a surprising player that you have if Tom Telesco sticks to this best player available, right, at 13, and he stands pat. He just stands pat. What would be an interesting shocker of a pick, but best player available that you'd be like, wow, like I can't believe we went that position, but a surprising talent that may work with what we have going on right now. Because mind you, this is a new offensive scheme, right? This is a new system. Jacoby, we love Jacoby Myers. We love him. He does all the dirty work as a wide receiver too, right? Blocks, yards after the catch. He does it all. But is there like a potential wide receiver that maybe there where he stands pat and he says, look, I'm taking best player available. Is there a shocking pick maybe, or it doesn't have to be a wide receiver, just a certain.
For as soon as you said receiver, it was Brian Thomas. That's kind of what I was thinking.
LSU.
And then from LSU. And then if you're looking at defense to really solidify that front line, if you go on D tackle, you go Byron Murphy.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be mad about that because it makes the corner's life so much easier, and linebackers that you don't have to get a linebacker in a corner early on. You just literally probably had a top 3 defensive line taking Byron Murphy there.
Yep. So, and I mean him right next to Christian Wilkins, that's ridiculous. That'll be, we got the best defensive line front 4 in the league in that situation.
At that point, you don't even have to start a second-year first-round pick Tyree Wilson if he's not ready to go. You have Byron Murphy, who I think is going to be a year 1 stud, next to Christian Wilkins with Malcolm Kuntz on the edge and Max Crosby. I don't think it gets any better than that. You know what I mean? As a defensive line, like at that point, your linebackers' lives are going to be it's going to be easy peasy, and your corners, you're hoping that Jacorian Bennett takes the next step in his development, right? And at that point, you can just go get a middle round guy, like we said, a Kyrie or Cam Hart.
I got a question for you. Is Tyree Wilson off the board as far as trade? Is that out of the question? Would that be out of the question for you?
He's not, because first of all, he didn't show what we wanted to see out of him in year 1. Yeah, he started to show some signs of life. But I still believe in him. But if you have to move on from him, because think about this too. Malcolm Kuntz is on 1 more year left on his deal. If they see something out of him and say we want to keep him around and give him a new contract, then where's Tyree at this point? I mean, you're not going to keep him as a defensive tackle full time, because I'm gonna be honest, you don't want him out there against the run. To me, he's a pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like that'd be but
one of my biggest surprises to me, if I saw it right. It would be a surprise, but then again, I'd be like, well, it kind of makes sense. Is us trading Tyree Wilson, using that as a package deal to send to Washington to get that number 2.
Okay.
So a first, Tyree Wilson. Hey, if you want, we'll throw in Byron Young as well. Maybe something else to move up to that number 2.
So you give him an edge rusher, a defensive tackle, and you say, here's a bunch of draft capital. We want our guy Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Bro, I would do that in a heartbeat, because once again, Malcolm Kuntz is there. He's your guy. Coming off of a career season, and mind you, he only played pretty much half the season. You know what I mean? So, but the scary thing is this: if you move Tyree, right, and Malcolm Kuntz balls out, you have to pay him a shit ton of money, and then all that money that you have allocated to Max, Christian Wilkins, it kind of takes. But you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal though, so you can get away with it.
Yeah, and you know, and here's the thing, man. Like, you got, say you do that move, right? Say that is the move you do, and you know you got Malcolm Kuntz looking for a contract. You got to pay him right there and then. I would even argue is that you sit in the negotiating table right now.
Yeah.
Because
get him early so it doesn't cost you 20+ million.
It doesn't cost you some extra money. And the Raiders did that with Darren Waller the first time.
Yeah.
Remember when Darren Waller was actually good?
Yeah.
And we signed him, and he was a discount, a hell of a discount at the tight end position until he got that $17 million and then decided he didn't like football no more. Yeah. But you know, that's what you would want to do with a Malcolm Kuntz. Pay him maybe slightly above what he's worth in a gamble to be like, okay, you know, if you exceed expectations or meet expectations from last season, you're not paying him an $18 to $20 million what he will probably be worth. Instead, you're paying him a 12 to 13 million, and you know, and in the long run, you're looking at a discount, super discount for somebody of his services. So that to me, that's what I'll say. Like, you gotta strategize and play some chess in this situation.
Because I think, you know, if Kuntz continues the ball and now we have real interior presence with Christian Wilkins there, like I think that's only gonna make him better. And I have him in that 10 to 14 sack range potentially. So I think that, and I you know what, I'll simmer down a little bit. I'll go 8 to 12 range, right? Because I think Christian Wilkins can get anywhere near close to about 10. I think Max is going to have a phenomenal year, and I'm 20 type shit. Like,
I agree.
He's going to have one of them years, and then I think Tyree's going to figure it out as well. I think he's going to be in that 6 to 8 range. You know what I mean? But if you're paying Kuntz right now, I'm assuming just right now you're looking at somewhere in that 8 to 10 million range per season, and then you can give him some heavy incentives to say, hey, if you reach this goal, there's way more money on the books for you. But you're right though, man. It's like we have a shit ton of money going into next season. You can put some of that to the side and earmark it for Malcolm Kuntz and see, okay, is this development going to continue? Is the trajectory going to continue to go up? And if it does, because bro, edge rushers are getting paid. They're getting paid, bro. Like, it don't even matter if you have a phenomenal season, you have big numbers. These guys are getting paid. They're getting paid.
Right. And to me, with Malcolm Kuntz, is you got to treat this, you got to do it right. If you're gonna not keep him, if you're not gonna pay him right here and then, look for some value in him as well.
Yeah.
You got to start looking at, hey, if we're not willing to pay this dude 18 to 20 million at some point, you got to ship him while his value is still high.
Yeah,
you know, that's another thing that you also got to look at.
Agreed.
And that could also be included in a package if you're trying to trade up as well. I mean, I love Malcolm Kuntz, but if you got to give him up in a sacrifice to kind of grab the quarterback, locate the quarterback of the future, your Jaden Daniels, right?
Yeah.
Then that's something that you really got to consider.
And I think that's more realistic because you just drafted Tyree. He's on a rookie deal. You still have, and you have that 5th-year option on the kid. You know what I mean? So, you know, you're just hoping that he turns a corner, you know, and the production is insane in year 2 with the presence of Christian Wilkins there, because I love Malcolm Kuntz. You guys know I've been high on him. Yeah. I wanted the Raiders to draft him that year out of Buffalo. We got him. I love that he's gotten better against the run. He's starting to set the edge a lot better. You know what I mean? Patrick Graham and these guys got their hands on him. They helped mold him. I think he's going to be a great player, but you have to sometimes bet on the year 2 guy and say that Tyree's the guy. So I'm going to be real. The Commanders are saying, well, we don't know who Tyree is. We see Malcolm Kuntz. You know, he may have to be the one you may have to sacrifice to move up. And at that point, I'm doing it because you're getting your quarterback.
Agreed. And let's just be honest, right? We only saw Malcolm Kuntz do this for half a season.
Yeah.
You know, he was Where's Waldo before that. Like, what's going on with him, you know? And we were about ready. I had him cut last year. So, you know, to me, it wouldn't, if you can get some good value out of him right now, I would pull the trigger, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. You know, hey, it's chess, not checkers, man. Salute to LT, man. Been pulling for lot 2 since day 1. He may be the first edge rusher off the board. He may be going to Atlanta. To be real, Atlanta may take him. I think they take Dallas Turner, but they may value lot 2 over him. So,
and that would be another guy that would be a big shock if we ended up landing him and we go best available is getting lot 2. if he's available, because that means that one, you are bringing in the guy you want, and you're not sold on what Tyree Wilson's, bringing to the table. And two, now you can include maybe down the line or later on at some point, a package deal to shipping him out after the fact, maybe in 2025 or whatever. So it's a lot of possibilities.
This is another reason, Ro, why we said this, because think about this. Tyree rookie deal. You have him he has 4 more years on his deal with the 5th-year option because he's a first-round pick. So think about this. Nate Hobbs needs to be paid in the offseason.
Yep.
Merrick needs to be paid. Spillane, Divine Diablo. You know what I mean? In a minute, Jack Jones in another year or two. Like a lot of these players need to be cashed out. Like it's pay up season, you guys. So you would have to move on from the likes of a Malcolm Kuntz because you have to allocate that money towards several players. Would you rather pay? Let's just say Malcolm Kuntz has a big year. Would you rather pay him $10 to $14 million, or would you want to use that money and pay 2 of your guys, potentially a Merrick, in a Nate Hobbs, but even though they may have big seasons, then you're looking at even more higher, in terms of money. But
Nate Hobbs is probably, if he has another season, he's considered one of the top slot corners in the game. So you got to pay him as such. So
and I think Merrick's going to have a career year. He's coming off a really good year last year. I think those are the 2 guys that we're going to pay, Big Mike. I think Divine Diablo is going to get his walking paper.
He's gone,
unless he's really cheap and he comes back because he didn't really have a phenomenal year. And he's not a guy whose name is on the map yet. Let's just keep it a buck. Right. And we got Amari Berner waiting in the wing. Bernie waiting in the wings. We have some other guys. We're going to probably get 1 or 2 guys in this year's draft. So I think Hobbs and Merrick get paid, and you got to bring back Spillane. Barring any health injuries, man. He had a phenomenal year for us last year, and he was actually pretty good in coverage last year. You know what I mean? So everyone needs to get paid, and Malcolm Kuntz is probably going to be the guy on the outside looking in because he's going to cost a shit ton of money. You know what I mean? Because edge rusher is a premium position. And if he has a big year again like he did last year, let's just say he even has just 10 sacks. That right there warrants a shit ton of that's a big boost in pay at the NFL level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that you kind of have to read in between the lines just a little bit. Max Crosby mentioned Tyree Wilson in the press conference. He could have mentioned Kuntz.
Yeah.
He could have.
And remember, Kuntz is in the building.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe that's in the plans already. I mean, that's a far-fetched way out thing, but it's a possibility if you are talking about moving up in the draft.
But I do have to say this, Big Mike. They asked him the question about Tyree. So so he didn't actually bring him up, you know what I'm saying, and say that, they asked him about Tyree's development, and he praised him, like crazy. So, but Malcolm Kuntz is still in the building. They didn't mention him. And I'm actually shocked that the media don't ask some of these questions. I know the players, it's not their job to, we're going to keep him or he needs to be paid or so on and so forth. But like sometimes I just wonder why they don't ask, with all these guys in the building, who's looking good, like who's in there showing big strides. Like instead of just saying, what does Tyree look like? What does all these guys look like? Who's showing out right now? Because if Max singles out 2 guys, that's going to make the other guys be like, okay, say less. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to work my ass off. So the GOAT on our defensive line mentions me even more. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, man, I mean, I love to hear him talk about Tyree, but I love that Max isn't going to – he praised him, but he didn't sing his praises because he knows a lot of work needs to be done in order for him to get it done in year 2. You know what I mean? Like, he's not trying to sell us on him. He's saying, look, it was good out there, but he got way more work to do. You know what I mean? And he's even saying, shit, I got more work to do. You know what I mean? Like, so at the end of the day, like, but – I just feel like sometimes, and I love some of our guys. I love Hondo. That's family to the channel. I got respect for a lot of the other guys. I just sometimes want more hardball questions. You know what I'm saying? Like who's in there every day? Like who do you think, Max, is going to take the next step this next year? Like give me not just is it Tyree or who are some of the guys? And I want to hear more hardball questions. You know what I mean?
And the thing is like we would love those hardball questions, but when you're an insider like that, you kind of have to tiptoe just a little bit.
I know.
You know what I mean?
The company line, you have to kind of
you got to toe the line a little bit.
Yeah.
And the things you really want to say or ask, like it leaves a lot to the imagination. So we need some guys that would really come in and really ask the hardball questions, because sometimes these insiders are they're sparing people's feelings too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's really what it's about.
And I understand it, and that's probably why we have more retired players on our platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're comfortable with being able to answer all the hardball questions now because they're no longer in the game. And some of these players don't want to come up here and because we're going to ask that shit. It's just simple and plain.
Yeah,
like,
no
you know what I mean? And they're probably going to be like, look, I can't double back to your channel anymore because I'm getting in trouble for those responses. So I get you got to toe that company line, but sometimes it's just like, damn, man, just ask.
Just one time, right? Like, give us something.
You know what I mean? Salute to everybody here in the building, man. As always, wipe them feet, man. You already know what it is, man. Like the thumb, as my brother Big Mike says, whether you're watching on his channel, my channel, Twitter, we just want to say we appreciate you guys, man. Hit them thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed to both channels, salute the Raider Felon. 46 players have to be resigned, 25 to 26. And that's your whole organization getting turned upside down.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But the crazy thing is, man, we're not the only team that has that problem. You know what I mean? Like there's a shit ton of other teams. There's always turnover every year with every organization. But think about it. That's crazy. That's nasty work. 46 players.
That's scary.
Wow.
That is scary.
Yeah.
We also got the cap allocated as well. But that's also reason why we got Coupon Tom right now. He's looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
That, we're going to have some dudes to sign next year. You want to keep that continuity.
Yeah. Facts. You guys get a few questions in before we get out of here. We're coming up on an hour and a half. We'd love to answer a few more questions before we get ghost. We talked about Davante Adams tripling down, letting everybody know in the nation, this is where I want to be. If I didn't want to be, I'd be gone. We talked about Cody Whitehair, coming in and being a potential backup guard for us, potential backup center behind Andre James. He may have to be one of those Greg Van Roten, Alex Bars type of guy. We've been doing this these past few years, bro. We've been these turnstile guards and bringing them in and just not wanting to pay him. But for the deal that we gave him, up to $3 million for one season, I kind of love it. The Luke Getsy, the familiarity. I love the pickup. I'm not saying he's a great talent by any means, you guys. Right. Not saying that, but he's kind of a turnstile, Alex Bars, Greg Van Roten type of talent that we're bringing in. I still think we're going to draft someone better. Get some questions in, y'all, though. Colin Graphk. Did you know the newest San Jose Shark is named Colin Graphk? Also, real quick, Warriors, Kings, who you got, man? I have to say, I'm a Kings fan, diehard Kings fan, but we lost our killer instinct, brother, when Malik Monk went down for the season. Those 20 damn near points a game, that's a lot to make up off the bench. Kevin Huerter's gone. I know he had a down season, but we lost two of our pretty much starters because Malik Monk's the sixth man of the year. To me, he could start on any team in the NBA. We lost pretty much our two starting shooting guards. It's nasty work out here, and you don't want to face potentially 4 future Hall of Famers, in Draymond, Steph, Clay, Chris Paul. To be real with you, if I had to be a betting man, I'm going against my Kings. I think the Warriors just have, these guys have won multiple championships. They've been here before. I know it's at our place, but I'm gonna be real with you. With the injuries, I got the Warriors winning. Do I want us to win? Definitely. I want to see the Lakers again, right after that, for us to get into the 8 spot. I'm gonna be honest. I have us losing to the Warriors because we're shorthanded at this point. And I'm gonna be real. Fox has not had that killer instinct since Malik Monk left. You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't been that same guy that's shown up in the fourth quarter, game in and game out. And yes, Sabonis is that double monster, and yes, he has triple doubles up the ass, but he hasn't been that scorer. He hasn't stepped up in the scoring department when Malik Monk has been out of here. So I have us losing. I do.
And you also the Kings, like, you got to look at the path that they got to get to the playoffs. Like, you're dealing with 4 Hall of Famers with the Warriors, and then possibly LeBron and the Lakers. Just the refs you got to deal with on top of that. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, Kings, Lakers, the refs that you got to deal with. I can even admit that. So,
yeah, man,
it's an uphill climb for the Kings, man, unfortunately.
Yeah. And the only way that we see Monk even back this season is getting into the first round and probably winning in the first round. And then you're hoping Monk comes back in the second round. So it's nasty work. But the one thing we have the advantage. We're at home. We have the greatest fans ever. That thing's going to be sold out. and it's going to be a fun game. Hopefully this is like the game 7 that we can make up for last year's, debacle in Sacramento. Hopefully we can figure it out. It'd be cool. But even if we do win, I got to be realistic here, you guys. We lost a shit ton of production with Kevin Huerter and Malik Buck gone. So you know what it is. And the bench really hasn't stepped up. Mitchell has been balling. The defense is there. Keon Ellis has been doing his thing, but I'm going to be real, man. Look, do I want my team to win? Hell yeah. I'm going to be watching every second of it. Hell yeah. But I have to be honest. It's a difficult task to beat a team that, with those veterans there. It's tough, man. Hey, AC, I hear you, bro. I don't think there's a reason for either one of our fan bases to be cocky at this point. You guys shit the bed this year. We shit the bed. And it's crazy to think that we shit the bed. We both had 46 wins.
46 wins, yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy. Last year that would have had you in the 3rd or 4th seed in the West. Think about that. Now we're playing teams.
Was wild. They have you with the 4th or 5th seed in the East right now.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? Like 4th or 5th? It's just crazy.
Man. Primos, I'm not putting that up, bro. Salute to you, though, man. Hey, Big Mike, real quick, man, before we get out of here, let everybody know, man, where they can follow you all over the place, and let them know where they can check out your phenomenal work that you do with the film breakdowns and your writtens. Yeah,
man. First off, everybody, thanks for popping in. Thanks for the support you guys been giving, as always, up to this point. But those who don't know me, make sure you guys look up Big Mike Raiders, the first thing that pops up when you do the search. And get in there. Make sure you like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. We're doing day 21 of the 30 Days, 30 Prospects today. And, hey, little hint, we're covering Audric Estime out of Notre Dame today. So,
and I love it. Yeah. One of my guys. Let me say this real quick on the way out, y'all. Do me a favor. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my brother, man. Go run them numbers up on the way out. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna leave this on the screen, even with the outro. Please go over there.
At least 3K before the season starts. At least.
There you have it. There you have it. I see a bunch of people saying just followed you. Appreciate the work you do. I love it. Salute to East Coast. And salute to everybody that's already going over it. Yeah, love it, man. Love you, brother. As always, let's catch up soon. We got the group chat and all that. We're gonna catch up. Doubt. But salute to everybody here in the building. Appreciate you guys as always. Oh, real quick. Murph and Jeff will be on the show this week. I got the autumn wind bags. My boy Juan is going to pull up. So, Raider Nation Avengers Assemble week. Okay. We're going to have Murph, Jeff, my boy Juan, autumn, wind bags. We're going to have potentially Sanjit. We're still working on a date with him. And then I got potentially another surprise or two up my sleeve. So stay tuned for that. We're going to assemble. We're going to get right. The draft is right around the corner. It's time that we get all our minds together, man, and push this Raider thing forward. So stay tuned for that. Once again, go subscribe to my brother, Big Mike Raider. We love you guys. As always, we appreciate y'all. We are out. One.
What I'm talking about.